away we go. I believe when this car was brand new, it had about 140 horsepower, which is awesome if I wasn't hauling around nearly 2 tons. It's so slow. I'm thankful that the... Oh, wait, I have a brake. Do it! Flooring it! We're going! We're fine. Everything... Electric windows. Let's talk about a few things that this car does super bad. Like, are just really, really, really bad. Gas mileage. I think it's bad. I think I get probably, at best, 14 miles to the gallon. I'm not upset about that because it has the aerodynamics of a brick. I knew that going into it, and I can't be like, oh yes, my Buick is a horrible gas mileage because I expected more of it. Now, you bought this car not for its fuel mileage, but it sucks. So if you're looking at hyper mileage, find something else. This isn't your toy. Another thing it does bad, again, performance all around, pretty shitty. Can I say that? It's pretty shitty. And again, that's okay. You don't see something this big and go, oh, I bet that's just a rocket right there. I can take on just that new Corvette, C8 Corvette. Eat it. No, it's a front-wheel drive V8. It's just, you glide. I'm going through the nice, windy mountain roads here in North Georgia. At, I don't know how fast I'm going. The speedometer's broken. But it's not fast. My butt speedometer is ensuring me that it's definitely not fast. And I'm okay with that. Other things it does bad. I don't know. Like, it goes great on the highway. It has such a massive trunk that I can haul anything. Actually, if I were to open up the trunk now, I'll show you. It's filled to the brim with Miata parts. I mean, it's got almost an entire engine in the back, totally in pieces. The back seat is surprisingly spacious. Now, they have a dual bucket, or it has bucket seats in the back with a little center console that folds down, kind of like this little guy here that you can't see because the camera's not in position. But it has a center console that folds down as well. Or you can fold it up if you want to get fresh and fancy with your mate. Why you wouldn't do that in the front seat of this car, which is a little bit more generous, is beyond me. But hey, if you want to get fresh and fancy with me, we can try the back seat. This is a pretty narrow car compared to the land yachts, the American land yachts of a decade prior. But you don't really feel like you're up in somebody's space. At no point do you feel like, oh man, this guy's just really too close to me and I'm uncomfortable by it. Not a problem. Hasn't been a problem. You can carry 4 people in here so nicely and so comfortably. It's just an absolute delight. There's got to be something this car's really bad at. Like, to the point where I suggest, oh, don't buy it because it can explode at any moment. It's fine. This is going to be a video of me just going, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Look at... That's fine. Everything's... You're quite fine. You're fine. Everything's fine. This is great. I just woke them up. Right! You damn kids, I told you no good would come from you shitty folks and your flying machines. And you do really feel like you're just gliding. This car just glides. I look forward to hit... Oh, hello. Hi. I don't know who they are. The car really just glides. I look forward to hitting speed bumps just to see at what point am I going to feel it. I mean, there are issues with that I can't help it, and I will not fault the car for it. It's a 40-year-old car. Things are falling apart on it. And you just sort of take it on the chin, like, okay, well, this interior piece is now rattling and broken as to where it did before. I'll spend 20 cents at a junkyard and I'll buy a new trim clip for it. Problem solved. And that's so nice about these things. So like, I've been on the internet and I have been looking for the nicest, and I mean the nicest 81 Buick Riviera that I could possibly find, which was actually in the same color scheme as this, with the silver vinyl top, and it's got this sort of bluish silvery color. $10,000, very low mileage, fully optioned, had everything you'd ever want except for a chauffeur. $10,000 for the nicest one. And they were kind of stretching. I mean, they were one of those kind of car dealerships that are trying to show premier cars, and this car's not there yet as a collector car, and I'm kind of thankful for that, because it lets me be able to drive it and not feel bad about it. I can't, in good conscience, drive around a 58 Riviera every day. Oh, nice use of a turn signal there, pal. I can't, because at any moment, me dodging a squirrel, I'm going to go into a tree and I'm going to wreck this car that is near priceless. This car, I paid under $2,000 for this car, and it had a lot wrong with it, but it wasn't anything that was expensive for me to fix. It was just a lot of 40-year-old little problems. Why aren't you buying this? Because you can buy one that doesn't need a thing except for a driver for $4,000 to $6,000, and it's got great paint on it. Now mine's rusty as all can be, but mine came from Canada. That's what they do. They rust. That's just, you open up the door and the door falls off. Like, oh well, another day in Ontario. I'm not wrong. Probably. So after this car was purchased new in Ontario, and it's even got the block heater on it, which is really kind of cool. It's got the little plug dangling down like a little dick. And after that, the car got imported into America and was sent straight to Tampa, Florida. So it spent half of its life in Ontario and the other half of its life in Tampa. So this car's gonna have rust issues. I'm kind of okay with that. I wish the seller disclosed that, even after me asking, hey, is it rusty? But I'm not bitter. And because this car is so affordable, it is so cheap, I don't mind it just sort of rusting into oblivion. It's okay. Because it's not like I have a $60,000 investment in this car that's just sort of eroding away. This car's already paid for itself for what I've put into it, just for what I've driven it. I've stood on the hood. I put cattle horns on it for Christmas. I put cattle horns on it for Halloween. I've taken tons of friends in this thing, so we've gone on road trips with this car. I've attempted to do donuts in it, which is absolutely impossible with a front-wheel drive 140 horsepower V8, but I tried and it was fun. The car's paid for itself. It's been an absolute blast and a joy. And out of all these magnificent, wonderful cars that I've owned throughout my adulthood, and even part of my childhood, this car gets the most amount of compliments, and it irritates me because I've had really, really nice cars, and I've had a lot of cars. I've poured tons of heart and soul into it, and as soon as I pull this up to a gas station, I've got people, Martha, look at that thing. Oh, hell, he got a Riviera. Oh, would you look at that? Jesus Christ, the neighborhood just go crazy. And it's like, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. I'll see you later. And it's, thanks. You're a good man. And it happens all the time. It's gotten to the point where this car is so affordable that you can do anything with it. It's like a blank canvas. If I want to airbag it and put 13-inch gold Dayton wire wheels on it, which I do want to do, because it's not like you're going to lose your investment. It's peanuts. I'm going to have more in the wheels than the car, and the car's not that expensive. That's the point. If I want to put 13-inch Daytons on it, put hydraulics on it, airbags, or whatever, and leave the cattle horns on the front of it, it would be just as cool as a $20,000 car, like a 65 Impala. Fight me. I'm not wrong. That is a fact. That is not a statement. That is a fact. Some of you guys are going to disagree. And I don't care. I'm all about the cheap car that delivers as much fun as an expensive car. That's why I have a Miata, which you might be able to hear me in the background screaming, Miata! Because it's a cheap car that's so much fun. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about a 1981 Buick Riviera. You have to do that voice. It's like a gala entrance. Now introducing Goldie Hawn, Bob Newhart, Dean Martin, and the chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra. Buick. You kind of get that feeling, and it's really fun. I enjoy it. Oh, look at this chup with your convertible. Yeah, convertible Porsche on this ugly, foggy day. I'm jealous. I'd like to do that myself. Thank you very much for joining me on this beautiful day. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go to the park and stare at this car for the next 45 minutes as people wonder if I'm okay. Bye-bye!